Welcome to episode 35. Today, I'm starting this recording with a summary, like the ending of the recording. I'm going to flip it. Instead of having you go through the whole episode and then have me wrap it up at the end, I'm going to start with the end in mind so that you know where we're going with this, because this is a very targeted, it's a very specific episode. And it's to highlight important things that are happening inside us and outside in the world that it's impacting us. Okay. So we're going to talk about disclosure. We're going to talk about the things that we didn't know were going on in our world that's coming to light. Okay. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what a crucial time this is for our own self-introspection, for our own connecting our dots, not running away from what we're feeling and not distracting ourselves. Okay, that's the second. The third thing we're going to talk about is how divinely, and I'm starting with that right now, is how divinely protected and guided you are from the time you were young, probably from birth. I mean, I don't know. My memory doesn't go back that far. But those of you that have ears to hear and you're listening to this episode, you are exactly right where you're supposed to be for your evolving, for your growth, and for your impact that you're having with other people. Okay? Now, follow this with me. Because in order to fully empathize, in order to fully relate with people that you're having a heart to serve, you're leading them, they're part of your family or your friends, knowing that you have experienced similar or the same or worse than they have gives a whole different perspective. When you love them and you're leading them for them to grow and heal, right? There's a saying that says, what heals in you heals 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. So when situations happen in our life, and it doesn't matter, I don't have to get real specific, but it's very focused on the children. And right now, the disclosures that are coming out with different medical procedures, and I'm not going to get into politics. That's not the purpose of this episode at all. But the focus being with the children. That's like a hook for us. Because so many of us, especially if you're over 20, there was just so many rules, and there were unspoken events that we couldn't talk about. It wasn't nice. It wasn't appropriate. It wasn't right. It wasn't acceptable for sure. It's important that, and I'm going to just relay a really quick incident. When I had my son, I had to face some really strong, those of you that know me know my upbringing was not like other members of my family. My upbringing was unique for a purpose. And I had to come to grips. Am I going to continue on with child raising, with my philosophies, with my values, with my son? Or am I going to make different choices? And I absolutely drew a line in the sand. And I said, this is stopping with me. My responses mostly were different. Mostly I made choices that were opposite from how I was raised. Intentionally, on purpose. My goal was to not damage my son the way I perceived my upbringing to damage me. Each of you have your own unspoken pain. Each of you have your areas where maybe your upbringing was phenomenal and you wanted to be just exactly like your parents, and you just embrace your whole childhood, and that's such a blessing, and that's so fantastic. This message is for the opposite audience, because the people that are coming to me for help, they are exhausted. They are exhausted. It's like they are being hammered, not just from external, the energies in the world, with the solar stuff and the sunspots and the X classes, M classes, wish I had classes, right? All that is, we're just bombarded all of a sudden, and this is 2025, right? This isn't a surprise necessarily. It feels different when it's happening to you than when you're hearing it on a recording saying what's coming, right? Then it's hypothetical. Now it's happening. You can feel it. And there are people that are just at their end. It's like, Kathi, I can't take anymore. I've got all this responsibility. I'm trying to juggle my finances. I'm trying to juggle my impact that I'm having with friends. And I'm trying to help people stay clear and trying to stay focused on what we're here to do and our purpose. It is exhausting. I'm here to tell you, there are ways, and this is an experiment. None of us have been here before. No one has ever experienced what we're going through right now. And it's purposeful. We are elevating the consciousness of the planet. We are all evolving and growing. We are all becoming the better version of ourselves that we didn't even know existed, right? So this level of personal mastery is beyond, oh my gosh, like we signed up for the hardest class. I want to invite you to experiment, because we are in a level of quantum involvement now. We've left 3D behind. We've graduated from that, and that density of our planet is behind us. We are fully forward into the quantum field, where things are on that dimension that we can't see, that dimension of love, that dimension that we can't describe, right? We don't have words. Like, help me here. I don't have the words for this feeling, right? We can set our intention, whereas before there was more of a step-by-step, do this. It was more of a template. This is what worked for me. Do it and it will work for you, or close, right? So in the quantum, if we set our intention, this is how I'm feeling and this is my intention moving forward. I want to speak the pain that I'm feeling, the pain, the abuse, the trauma, all the triggers that I know are inside me. We speak it and intend. We tell our guides, we tell the Holy Spirit, help me with these feelings. Help me with this trauma that's in my cells. My intention is to heal and release the grip and the root of this trauma from all my cells, so that I can be a clean, open vessel and to be able to help other people move through this. Okay, I'm inviting you to try that, because our intention is so powerful. And when we believe that it works, when we believe, we step into that empowered faith that we've been given, that picture of absolute soaring in our spiritual being, that we can impact people and help others heal. That's the name of the game. So try it. People are having unbelievable success with that. On the flip side, for some, it's a process. And for some, it makes it faster, and they're getting through major layers of things that they didn't want to face. They didn't want to feel it. They didn't want to even admit it was in there. Mistakes they have made. Mistakes where they have repeated behaviors that they swore they never would do. This was my dad. He did this and I never wanted to be like him. This was my mom, and when she would do that, I would just suffer. And yet I'm doing it with my kids. There are those that it's not an immediate, intentional healing on the spot. Some are, some aren't. And I want to invite you, and this is why, this like a resurrection. I've had this program with the Quantum Cellular Reboot Program that's been going on for years, and it's had amazing results with people. And it goes in waves. There's times that it's been a focus. There's times that, it kind of lifts and things move, and there's a different focus, and we're talking about different things. And it's fine, because I go every day is a new day. There's nothing in stone. And I'm here to tell you that process is fast and it's natural. There's no medication. There's no therapy. There's no blah, blah, blah. There's none of that. It deals with the files that are stored in your brain and in our cells of our body that goes back generations. Right? Much of what we have dealt with and the feelings of trauma that are coming to the surface now aren't even ours. They're not even from what we experienced in our childhood. They're generational, and we were born for such a time as this, to break those curses, to break those traumatic memories that are stored in our cells so that generationally we can be free. We're freeing. This is like legacy healing, right? So contact me if you feel that inside, like, oh man, this feels deeper than I realized. This is impacting my life. I'm not able to really get a grip on I'm not being who I know I can be. Just reach out to me, because it's not a big, hairy deal. It can be fast. It can be quick. And especially now that it's 2025, oh my gosh, like seriously. Anyway, okay, so that's about that. So now it's like we're able to turn our pain. We can turn our wounding, our trauma, and we can turn it into healing for people. We can be the example of, we went through this and we came out the other side like this, almost like a butterfly, right? So we've come out of our metamorphosis, and we're ready to fly, and we're practicing, we're getting our wings, and it is struggle. It is struggle watching the cocoon break open, and you want to help, and you want to, we don't want to watch people hurt, and we don't want to listen to their pain. This is a new day, and you are in the exact perfect place at this perfect time for a reason. Okay? And just know that this is your safe space. This channel, being able to feel not alone, and you are so not alone. I mean, every recording I do is in direct response to messages, to people that are reaching out, to different elements that I'm getting. It's a complete response to help you, because you're not alone. And we want to make it as smooth and as effortless but deep and thorough and final. Like, this is the line in the sand. This is it, right? This pain and all of this is stopping with us. It's not going on. And this was kind of the declaration I made when I had my son. It was like, this is it. I am breaking this for my family. Moving forward, I'm done. And some things I wished I'd been more done than I thought I was, right? So we're evolving, and we're helping each other learn and grow. So I hope that helps you. We're breaking the silence. We are stepping out in faith, and we're empowering ourselves by the power inside of us through the Holy Spirit, that God is in us. We aren't relying on any external validation or verification. We're staying solid with our truth that we have inside. Okay? I love you all. Reach out if there's anything I can help.